Good evening, students. Today we learn the third applications of Gauss law, that is to find out the electric field due to a spherical cell. So first of all, what do you mean by spherical cell? Spherical cell means you can consider a conductor just like a football. Inside it is hollow. That is called a spherical cell. So suppose this is a spherical cell of radius r, uh, like this is the spherical cell of radius capital R, and here the charge is distributed uniformly, and we have to find out the electric field due to the spherical cell in three regions: outside the cell, that is P point is outside, on the surface, and inside. So first of all, let us find out the electric field outside the spherical cell. So this is the point P, which is outside the spherical cell. So first of all, you have to enclose the spherical cell by closed surface. So this is the closed surface, this dotted line of radius small r, that is the closed surface, and we have enclosed the spherical cell by the closed surface. So suppose the total charge in the spherical cell is Q. Q is the total charge. So by applying Gauss law here, phi is equal to Ea cos theta is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Now Ea, what is the angle between area vector and electric field vector? We know that area vector is perpendicular to the surface area, so this is the direction of area vector, this is the direction of electric field. So theta will be 0 degree. That's why here there is cos 0 degree. And what is the surface area of a sphere? 4 pi r square. 4 pi r square means E into 4 pi r square is equal to, or E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. So you can see this is just equivalent to the electric field due to a point charge. Now on the surface, suppose P point comes on the surface, then this small r will be equal to capital R. So what will be the formula on the surface? Here simply it will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R square. Small r will be replaced by capital R. And what will be inside the spherical cell? Inside the spherical cell, we know that in a sphere the total charge remain on the surface. So phi is equal to Ea cos theta is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Now your Q is 0. There is no charge inside the sphere. So this RHS will be 0. So electric field will be 0. So the electric field inside a spherical cell will be 0. So if you plot it graphically, a question comes in your board examination as well as in the competitive examination. When we start from the center of the spherical cell towards outside, then how the electric field will vary, draw a graph. So this is the graph. Here this is the center of the spherical cell. From the center to the surface, the electric field is 0. So that this is 0. At the surface, the electric field will be maximum. And when you go outside the spherical cell, the small r will increase, so electric field will decrease. This will be a graph. Clear? Now there is another topic, that is electrostatic sealing. Electrostatic sealing and its application. Electrostatic sealing means what? Suppose a murder takes place in a particular room, then the police seal the particular room, that is called sealing. Sealing means separating the room from the outside world, that is called sealing. Similarly, inside a hollow conductor, as you know, the total charge remains on the surface and the electric field is 0. So if you keep anything inside a hollow conductor, then there will be no effect of electric field on it. The electric field inside a hollow conductor is 0. It means we are sealing the particular object from the outside electric field. This is called electrostatic sealing. Like application during lightning, it is better to remain outside this application. During lightning, it is better to remain outside the car or inside the car. It is better to remain inside the car because the car behaves as a hollow conductor, and if at all the lightning falls over the car, there will be no effect on you. So it is better to remain inside the car. Similarly, there are other applications of electrostatic sealing also. You can follow the book. This is the end of chapter 1. We have studied electric charge, electric force, electric field due to point charge, then electric dipole, electric field due to electric dipole, Then we have studied electric flux, the numericals, then Gauss law and its application. So you must have completed your classwork and homework. If you have completed, send in my personal WhatsApp number. From tomorrow we'll start the chapter 2. You must have completed the OTQ also I have given you, and other homework. Thank you.